Hello, sorry for the late start. It may be a short and sweet stream depending on how much I'm able to actually figure out about Ucupaint today. But I figured out how to get layers and masking for solid painting to work, so at least we can do that. And then maybe we can make some voxel trees if I don't get very far with this. I know it's a little harsh to look at my little experiment over here with making sure the system works. All right, let's send this share link to a few friends in case they feel like stopping by. Okay, I didn't even think about like what to model to really practice this on. So I guess that's the first thing to figure out. There's one of my friends reminding me to set my phone to vibrate. Okay. Things for us to make. What if I just make like a loaf of bread to experiment? Try to make a little loaf. So the only thing I was doing here with this cube that I'm about to get rid of, sorry, default cube, was adding a layer of one color, adding a layer of a second color, and then setting a mask on one of them so that it appears to lock brush strokes. Oh, there we go. Onto that layer without affecting the front of it. Easy peasy. And let's go ahead and get rid of this cube. And the camera. We don't even need a camera. Who needs a camera? And add. Hi, Defiant. How's it going? Let's see. Where are my round cubes? Did my add-on for round cubes disappear again? Extra mesh objects is turned on. Yeah, and I should be able to add a round cube. Yeah, there you are. I just must not have seen it. I'm doing pretty good, thanks. I'm just still hoping to understand this Ucupaint add-on. I haven't really got my teeth into it yet, so hopefully doing this on stream will force me to figure it out. Let's get a few less edges. I don't want it to be very mesh heavy. Cool. And then I'll go into edit mode and then I'll just scale that a little bit like that. Looks kind of like a blimp, I know, but let's grab this bottom, and with soft editing on, I'm just going to not scale really, pull that up until our loaf looks a bit loafier. Nope, not that way, I guess. There we are. Weeble song? Which Weeble song? All right, loaf of bread acquired. Everybody needs to get a bloom. I don't think I know this one. I haven't like watched all of the Weeble stuff from back in the day. I probably only remember was it badgers and mushrooms and a couple of others. I wonder if it would unlock some core memory for me to see it again now. I'm but an old mean lord. Let's see. What am I doing? Quick Ucupaint node setup. I think this is what I need, but what I'm wondering first is if I should have this guy UV unwrapped first, which I don't want to do. I want to get better at texturing, but I hate unwrapping. All right, let's unwrap the bread. I don't want to do this. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Well, first, maybe you can just try smart. Please be smart. Please be smart. Please be smart. I don't think that's too bad. Can you grab by island? Maybe. I forgot how to grab by island. Maybe. There we go. No, they're the same island. Why are they the same island? That's fine. Okay. I don't think that's going to be too bad of a thing. I'm going to go back into layout now that everything is technically unwrapped. And let's make a name for ourselves. Bread loaf. Make bread loaf. And mission. The tutorial set a mission. I don't know why. I would think that I would want to use diffuse, but we're just going to follow the recipe for now. Would love to answer any of these questions for you. Don't worry about it. It's I am learning on the fly. Hopefully streaming will force me to not get so like, oh man, this is a daunting thing that I really want to do, but it's going to be very hard. I think I'll just think about it and do it never. So hopefully doing this on a camera will keep me on task and make me stick to the tutorial. I've watched the tutorial a couple of times. The language barrier is a bit, or not the language barrier, the accent is a bit heavy, so some of it is a little bit hard for me to understand exactly what he's doing. And he moves very quickly through a few of the steps that I'm probably supposed to know already. So I think I'm going to hit the most trouble when I get to curvature maps, because that'll be new for me. But this part should be easy peasy. You start with your color mode. We're in the color channels. And then we make an image. Bread loaf layer base paint. Ta-da! Okay. And Jump into texture mode and get some generally bread color. And fill it. Really just the averagest color of what will appear across this bread. And I should have some way, he had some way to add everything to a color palette. And that I don't understand because all I see is this. So I'm going to take a second here before we start getting into a bunch of different colors and losing them to try to figure out how he got color palettes. Physics, constraints, no, maybe? That's just the material itself, really. Render, output, scene. I'm just gonna go look at his video again real quick. Don't mind me. Okay. So up here at the top, not this. This. Okay. Brush, asset, stuff. Oh my goodness. There's a million tools in Blender. It's really just a matter of finding them. Does this add a new palette? Palette color. Okay, good deal. So now that is banked. Learned one whole thing today. Let's increase our saturation, decrease our value, and trend a little bit more around, maybe a little bit further down in value. And maybe that'll be a good color too. Let's paint softly at first. And get the major areas painted out. Get the bottom of our bread. So I'm not a particular stranger to texture painting in Blender. Oop, I don't like that UV. No, I don't. Why is that like that? Oh, at least it's even. Are you casting through the object somehow? How did you get up there? Anyway. I would tell you that I understand what any of this means, but I don't. Where is that mysterious cube? To jump over to edit mode and try to find you. No, not that, not that. There. Here. Okay, so it should be, it has a space on the UV map. Oh, this one? Okay, so over here. Okay. It is on the map. It should be being painted. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense. Unless I had some kind of masking mode on and didn't know it. No, paint mask was off. Let me bank this color real quick and try to figure something out. Should is very operative. It's a load-bearing word. Um, hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. We now have our plain bread loaf again. And we're here. I'm going to try to only really apply it. Loaf. Oh, that hurt. No, it was funny. It was actually funny. Thank you. Okay, so now it does just fine. I wonder if it was my camera angle that the brush didn't actually pick up on the face enough because I was like painting it directly beneath. Let me try that real quick again and see if it still looks weird. Come on, camera. Nope, totally fine. Sure, roll with it. Okay. I know this likes to layer up on default, so I'm going to try to get this in one stroke here first. Mix. I really just want a normal brush with full density. This is the best text about room. This is my entire journey with Blender, by the way. It doesn't work. I followed the tutorial and I don't know why. But I can do this other thing and it kind of works the way that's supposed to work. So let's just do that. Feel this whistle. Hmm. You can kind of see the edges happening here. It's kind of acting like it does when let's see if a little bit of blur can help. Or yeah, blur. Blur it and blend it a little bit. Mano. Is it? It's looking as if it is looking to me as if it is doing vector painting and not actually painting on the texture. And that is typically what happens when I have these little splits that happen when I'm using deep paint. That would explain, actually. That would explain why I'm not seeing. No, I am seeing it here now. Okay, so it is applying. It's just applying weirdly. Okay. So it's not vertex painting. So that's not the issue. We'll just get a little bit more tappy with the brush strokes and see if that blends it out a little bit. And just so I can sell that this is a bread loaf, we're going to get a couple of these going. There. And then one really big split of something there. Ta-da! I went to art school for 4 years to do this. Okay. So with the most cartoony basic, why were you grabbing a subcolor just now? What in the world? What? Or were you erasing? That was weird. Does my... Ah, okay. It actually listens to my Wacom pen. Clever blender. Let me take a second here to shade smooth. This is going to make some things look a little bit nicer, and I'll get a little subdivision surface. Just so our bread looks a little bit smoother. The geometry is still the same, but as you can see, it kind of shrank inside its bounding box a little bit. Visually, everything is still there. And as long as I don't take this object out of Blender, I won't have to commit that and then give this thing more actual geometry. So, do I actually want to start masking things? Now your bread has a disjointed hitbox. I see how it is. I would say that that is a more forgiving hitbox. If it were, say, a cooking game, you would want to have the hitbox a little bit bigger so that somebody didn't have to hit this bread loaf with surgical precision to make a sandwich. So, there's that. I think I could have made use of a mask if I were using the geometry better. No, I can paint the mask in. Okay. So while I do have my little stripes here, I'm going to try to make a new layer. Because again, the goal of today, learn how to use this stuff. Making a new image layer, bread, loaf, slice, mask. Okay. This looks remarkably like, oh, on Adventure Time. Yes, this is going to make a legendary sandwich. I forget all of the ingredients. It has been many, many years. But I still remember bacon pancakes. I hum it every time I make pancakes. Okay, so I think if I remember correctly, the goal is to grab a color in texture paint mode, and it could be this color, I guess. And I will use fill to hit the whole thing with it. Hold on. Because now we add the mask. Bam. The mask will be like here. Okay. And then for the mask to work, it needs to be either all black or all white. Hi, Lethal Jelly Bean. How's it going? I hope it's going well. Oh. Right, what was it doing? It had to be perfectly like this. Black. And then I paint out the area. Or do I paint in reverse? This is the mask part, right? I believe. Okay, that's why that's happening. Okay. And make our little sub slices like that. And I'm going to add a little more space there and erase a little bit of there. Is it? I don't think my eraser's erasing now. Hold on. If I try something like control. Control works. There we go. Ooh, but it's so intense. Okay. So ideally, the reason I'm fussing over this so much is that I can duplicate this layer and then also use it to affect the depth. So I can say make these little slices dip into the bread so we have a little bit more believability. It's not just perfectly round up there, but that is a step for later on. Just to let you know why I'm fussing with it so much right now. There. I turn that off. You see only the bread. Okay. So if I'm in here now and I say paint here, even if I wander off, it stays within that area. Mission accomplished. The mask is masking. Let's give this a save. Verifying a tiger. You know what? If you want it to be like a bread tiger, we can add little ears and maybe a tail later. If I get that far with this. Or let's just say Ucupaint red loaf. Both. And saved. Wait, I have to look that up. What does tiger bread look like? Tiger bread, Netherlands? That's kind of sick. I like the kind of. I wouldn't. My first thought looking at these images is that this looks turtle shellish to me. Like, you know how when you pour that stuff over ice cream and it crackles? Yeah, giraffe. But this does look delicious and I want to try it. And I guess I can go in here and start our texture paint under here. Grab our little toasty color. What? What? There we go. I'm just trying to work on here. Just want to turn that back on and fade some of this in. Forgive me while I take a little brain break and just have fun texturing for a sec. Is this as a result of that? It is. Okay. Is it the mask that's doing it? I believe so. Okay. Mask means grab black, grab the mask. And no, not like that. With this off. There. Okay. Okay. Oh, are those UVs really close together? That would explain some things. The line of these two UVs are so close together that I think it's causing something. Okay. Yes. Here, perhaps? Okay. We're looking for this face, or this edge, which is here. Okay. And the bottom of this edge is hitting there. Doesn't look like it is. Here. I mean, they look far apart to me. How are they? How is this affecting that? They're not even touching. On the flat version, they're not. That does something. The mask would be bleeding if the two edges were touching and then overlapping in some way. Which it would make more sense to me if this were being caused by this face over here. Ah. Oh, it is you. You pesky little UV. It's on the mirror side. I don't want to move the whole face. I just want to move these 2 points. No, not the island. Is it because of you? Oh, it's because of you. Okay. So this is what drives me nuts about UV unwrapping, is that I would love there to be a one-click solution. I know that what's happening right now is entirely my fault, and that to start over would mean shrinking these islands down so they don't touch at all. But we're gonna see if I can get away with not doing that. Because I don't want to do everything I just did again. Okay, back into texture paint. Nope. We're in the mask. We're painting black. We need to erase. There we go. And clear, clear. Heck yeah. Now I can work within the masked area with the paintbrush on and this, and let's go even darker, even more saturated, and try to make this edge stand out a little bit more. Start fleshing things out. Oh, I think I'm starting to feel, I know that UV thing is going to bother me. That if I actually want to do Ucupaint things, that UV unwrapping is going to start bothering me because I can see another one right here. But I am feeling the itch that's like, oh, I think I could make a lot of things look good very quickly if I get really into this. I'm feeling hubris. We'll go distract the Greek gods before they notice. Okay. What if I try to texture a little bit? I don't have very many brushes because I have not been texture painting in here. There should be a way to change brush tips and make brushes and things. And while I've explored that a little bit with grease pencil, I haven't with texture paint mode. In theory, it should be the same. But it's not like I can do that from within Blender, I think. I have to. Okay, texture mask stroke. Can I replace with like image stamps? Would that be here? Probably. I would say like random. Mapping to the view plane. I think if I want to make brushes, that's going to be another stream for another day. Because I'll need to understand how people are making texturing brushes. For now, maybe I can get some kind of jitter. Just for a little bit of, yeah, okay, a little bit of texture. That's all I want. It's just a little pinch of separation. And I'll decrease the strength. And start layering up. Yep. I want the strength to be way lower. Because I'm still hitting it at like featherlight touches and getting just too much paint. See if I can't hide this little hot spot with some of that texture. Now I'll go in here, say increase value, decrease saturation, and drift a little more yellow. Let's hope that that's enough. More. wonder if I could go with additive. Ooh, that does it. That did it. We'll go back to our source color and we'll just do a little bit of additive. No, I don't like how that's layering on top of itself. Can I like really increase the jitter for more? No, then it just gets really polka dotty. With great jitter comes great responsibility. But I like that tone. Maybe I can just grab that. And then drop back to mix. And it's not doing what I want. Increase the strength again? Oh, that's part of it. No. No. So I want the dots to stay small. And I don't really have a way to affect that just yet. That I know of. It's really just spreading the stroke out into individual dots. Bread. I have done nothing but teleport bread for 3 days. Can I make a bazooka that shoots the bread? Probably. Just to throw this out there, I'm not actually using a reference image today. I'm really just trying to get some vague object with an excuse to use these tools. So now that I've done enough of that bread texturing brain break, let's try to use the thing that's actually scaring me, which is curvature mapping, which is going to allow us to make this bread make divots. So give me just a moment while I look at the tutorial again and try to understand this. Okay, I'm gonna make. Okay, so we're up here at the top. I'm gonna make an edge paint layer. Edge paint layer. I don't see it. Oh no. Oh no. Open. Solid color with edge detect mask. Okay. Solid color with. Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay. Stay right there. Okay. Okay. Our bread got glowy. That's good because his object went glowy as well. So far, so good. Ah, and I can tune the radius to. Here you are. Whoa. Okay. No. What? Let's try 0.02. I don't need too much of it. Bake it. We have to. Okay. How to bake the thing. Okay. Just. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Turn on alpha to what? Okay. Okay. And then here. And then. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. 32. Okay. Got it. I'm not going with that crazy resolution you're going with, but I'll still do this. 32 samples is fine, even though it's a loaf of bread. And we'll use the graphics card. And okay. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Whoa, 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 whoa. Picked color, breadth of color. Okay. Okay, so in the texture paint, is that where you are? Your workspace looks different than mine. It's one of these, I think. Nope. Nope. Maybe. Nope. Also no. Probably not this. Yeah. And not that either. Well, can I get by without saving this for now? Or does it break things? Paint shield color. Well, you have slice mask, mask one. That image is already saved. That's already saved. Saved. I don't think those matter. This one, I guess. Okay, we're going to save this as highlights and cavities with our bread loaf. Like you managed to delete the breads. Yeah. Okay. I'm trusting the process right now because right now all that should be rendered is the ambiently occluded stuff, which is our bread flour. Um, okay. And we're going to get the object back in a second. But right now, the only thing visible is our too fine to perceive bread flour. Okay. Back in layout. Gonna turn off used baked, he says. Okay. Okay. I don't think this was needed to stay. He deletes his. Bam. Removes it. Okay. Then adds. Yeah, okay. We just open the image now. Open our highlights and cavities. Boop. And we got our bread flour back. Okay. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Back in texture paint mode. He is under advanced. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 I think I got it. I think I followed the steps accurately, and now we're just gonna find out if it works or not. So ideally, on our layer, now that it has ambient occlusion, even though it's a color layer, when I paint here, it should be lifting it up, but it's not. Is it because of this? No. Hmm. Does it need to be all white or all black? No. How come it works for him and not for me? Well, back in the tutorial. Okay, base alpha is on. Use clamp is on. Channel 1. Everything on my screen is looking like his screen. Hmm. I'm very confused. As it seems like I'm doing exactly what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Well, that might be it if I can't figure this out. I'll probably have to jump off stream, I think, and look up a different tutorial, somebody that I can understand better. Oh well. I guess that's where we end it for today. Normal. Is this it? If I just click around and find out. Unconnected channel output. What if I put this out to normal? Nope. That ain't it either. All right, I hope you have a nice night. Get some sleep. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this loaf of bread. And I think that's a good place for me to stop because I need to find a better tutorial. But yep, I hope you'll have a good rest of your day or night. And I will hopefully be streaming again in a couple days. It is truly lovely. Thank you very much. All right. Bye now.